இல்ல சார் யூடியூப் லிங்க் நம்மளுக்கு அனுப்பியிருக்காராம் பாருங்க மெயிலுக்கு. அனுப்பிட்டாரா சார் பவுல் சார்? அனுப்பியிருக்கேன். ஆமா சார். இல்ல சார் இது நான் ரெடி பண்ண வச்சது பழைய டெம்ப்ளேட் மட்டும்
சார். நீங்க மைக் ஆன்ல இருக்கு.
ஐயோ
வந்துட்டாங்களா?
எல்லாம் கேட்டுட்டு இருப்பாங்க. யார் யார்
32 பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட் அப்புறம் ஆரம்பிக்க வேண்டியதானே? இது வந்துட்டாங்களா? ஆரம்பிச்சுடு.
மைக் ஆன்ல இருக்கா?
சரி இந்த ஆன்ல தான் இருக்கா மைக். ஒரு நிமிஷம்.
அங்கிட்டு போயிருங்க. சார் 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 ஸ்வின் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாமா? கேன் யூ ஸ்டார்ட்? மைக் ஒன்றும் கேட்கல. இன்னும் என்ன கேட்கல சார்.
சார் கேக்குதா இப்போ?
Yes, man. Okay.
Yes, sir, I can start the session.
Okay. Thank you. A very good morning to one and all. It's indeed an honor and privilege to welcome you all to the webinar series season 2, Glimpse of Ethical Hacking. So my hearty welcome to the esteemed chief guest of this August function, Mr. A. Ashwin Kumar, cybersecurity consultant, Ernst & Young LLP, Mumbai, who accepted our invitation in spite of his busy schedule. I welcome our Principal Dr. D. Vasudevan sir, who has been the moral support to all of us in all means. I welcome our head of the department, Dr. A. Vincent Anthony Kumar sir, who has been the guiding force behind all such activities. I also welcome our students, faculty members, and staff members of various departments to this webinar. Once again, I welcome you all for this webinar and make this event a grand success. Thank you. Now, please watch our PSNA College teaser. சும்மா இருந்தா
Mr. Ashok, please proceed. Mr. Ashok.
He has completed his UG BTech Information Technology in PSNA College
Mr.
of
Ashok.
Engineering and Technology
Ashok.
and did his master
Mr.
degree in
Ashok.
cyber security at Amrita University. He has 3 years
Mr.
of
Ashok.
experience. Sir?
Please repeat.
Yes, sir. And chief guest introduction. It gives me an immense pleasure in briefing our distinguished chief guest, Mr. A. Ashwin Kumar, cyber security consultant, Ernst and Young LLP, Mumbai. He has completed his UG BTech Information Technology in PSNA College of Engineering and Technology and did his master degree in cyber security at Amrita University. He has years of experience as a cybersecurity consultant in ethical hacking, source code review, and other security implementations. He was professionally trained in the key areas of red teaming, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, cyber audits, incident response and handling, and cyber forensics. Currently, he is working as a cyber security consultant in Ernst and Young LLP, Mumbai. With his few words, I request to hand over to this session to our today's guest, Mr. Ashwin Kumar.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the warm welcome, sir.
Thank you.
I think I am audible to everybody. Just quickly type it on the chat whether everybody can see me and or can everybody can hear me.
Yes, proceed.
Okay. I think everybody can see me and hear me, right? Okay. So I can see the response from the chat. Okay, great. So I guess I hope you guys are doing good and staying safe in this pandemic situation. So yeah, I think let's get started into the session and let me share my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, let me just quickly. Ashok sir, can you see my screen?
Mr. Ashwin, please proceed. We are able to
Okay.
see your screen.
Okay, sure. So today's topic it's pretty much an interesting topic, and it's a very essential topic for everybody in this field of cyber technology or say information technology. So so let's start with an ethical hacking. The topic says is ethical hacking, right? So there are, first of all, I want to say there are a lot of misconceptions happening around this topic. So everybody is like hacking is a bad stuff. It's a wrong thing to do. No. So that's why I term this called ethical hacking. So it is something which you do with the prior consent of the organization or the individual. So let's get started into the slide. So the agenda for the day is, so let me just quickly give me a small introduction about myself. So my name is Ashwin, and so I work as a cybersecurity consultant, and it's been 2 years, and I'm still progressing. I'm working in the company called Ernst and Young LLP as a cybersecurity consultant. Yeah, so I did my bachelor's in information technology at PSNA College of Information and Technology, and I did my master's in cybersecurity at Amrita University. So I think my college days really helped me to start my cyber career as a cybersecurity consultant, and it gave me an immense knowledge to study this cybersecurity field, which is very interesting. I feel I guess by this end of presentation, I guess you guys will feel the same. So yeah, so this is what I'm going to teach. Actually, I'm going to share some knowledge today. So before going into ethical hacking, I just want to quickly go through what is cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is a very vast field which deals with information security. So information security is something which, anything which protects your information, which is called an information security. Let's say your personal data like passports, your Aadhaar ID. So everything needs a protection, right? So these all comes under a category. The way of securing those information is called an information security. Okay. So quick thing. So guys, I have a quick demo to demonstrate why cybersecurity is important in this era and in this pandemic situation, because recently we have been seeing a huge spike of cyber attacks. So cyber attacks, in this case, it's called a data breach, or just stealing somebody's data from a company, or stealing company's secrets. And the list just goes on: hacking into a social networking site, hacking into a company network, stealing the company's secrets. There has been a lot of cases which is happening in this past 2 to 3 years, we can say. And so let me just quickly demonstrate and demo to show how cybersecurity is very important. Okay, let me just quickly go to my screen. So what are we going to do is we are going to control this Windows 7 machine with, I just made a small demo for you guys. So basically there are two systems. One is my Linux machine and another is my Windows machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's say, hack this machine, hack this Windows 7 system from my Linux machine here, which is here. I already set up all my settings here. So the scenario which we are going to talk about today is very much simple. Let's say somebody or some company employee is downloading some files from the internet, and the files are from an untrusted website. So let's say he has downloaded this file. Okay, this I just named it as bad file. Can you guys see it? It's just a exe file. It's just an executable file. Okay, so and this employee has no idea about what is this file, and he just downloaded it from a random website, and he thinks that this is some sort of a game, or this is some sort of an other legal software or a pirated software. But the actual functionality of the software it's very, very bad. So I can quickly demonstrate how this thing works. Okay, let's say the employee has downloaded this file and he wants to open it and see what is there inside this file. Okay, so he is executing this file, and as usual, nothing will happen on his screen. And let me just quickly run my system here. Okay, whenever he opens his exe file, which he has no idea about where it comes from, he just randomly download from the internet. Whenever he opens or execute this file, this computer, this Windows 7 machine, which is there in my virtual machine, will send a connection request to my host machine, which is this. I am currently using a system called Ubuntu. So I get a network connection from that machine to this machine, and now I can control this machine entirely from here. Let's say let's just quickly show you some examples. Okay. All right. So let's say I'm an attacker. I control this machine now. I'm controlling this Windows 7 machine. I just want to see what he is typing on his system. So what I'm going to do is I'll quickly run some scripts on this target machine, and I can able to capture all his keyboard keystrokes, I can say. Let me just quickly start this. All right. So now you can see it has just started the keystroke sniffer. Let me go to this attacker's machine. The target machine. This employee has no idea that his machine is already connected to a hacker's machine, which is here, which is my machine in this case. So let me just quickly demonstrate how this thing works. Okay, let me just quickly go to a notepad. So let's say the employee has no idea. He just executed this application and nothing has happened. So he thought, okay, this is a buggy application. This is something which is not working. So he just started to carry on his work. Let's say he is trying to log into his banking application. I'm just giving a small example here. Let's say he is typing his username as sample@email.com and password is 123456. Okay. So whatever he is typing, I can able to see it from this screen. Let me just quickly, So as you can see here, so I can able to see what he has typed. So you can see sample@email.com. Even you can see whether he is using a special character or using a tab, and you can see the password here as well. So you can see how dangerous this a simple exe file from an unknown source can cause to this machine. This is just an example of showing how a simple exe can actually capture your keystrokes. Let's say if this employee is having an camera, so I can secretly view his webcam and I can snap pictures and I can do whatever I want. So the why I am showing this demo is I want to just quickly tell you that how important is cybersecurity, because this employee didn't follow any cybersecurity practices. So because of that, this guy has downloaded some random files in the internet, which is again, he is not aware of what is happening in the internet. He just downloaded it, he installed it, and you can see it is just execute after executing this, and you can see I can able to control this machine entirely. I can do whatever I want. I can just run a command, I can record a desktop, I can take a screenshot of this desktop. I can just say screenshot. I can take that as well. Let's take a quick screenshot. Let's go to this location. And so the from the attacker's mission, you can literally view anything, let me just go to and I can quickly show. So this is the screenshot which I have taken from the attackers from the target mission. So the employee has no idea about what is happening in this mission, but I am connecting this entire system from anywhere, from any parts of the world. So okay, let's see. Uh, so now you guys have a slight idea about why cybersecurity is very important, right? So I think some guys might be downloading some files from the internet, downloading some movies from the internet. So those are the big entry points into your system. Okay, you might be thinking, okay, I just want a movie from the internet, so you just go to a random site, download just some movies. So as you guys, we want to know, this nothing comes free. Okay, if whatever you are downloading from the internet, there is always chance, there is always a high risk that you will get a malware or you will get a virus or something like that. So one such example is like this. So this guy has downloaded a bad file, and after executing this, so I can do whatever I want on his machine. I can create a user, I can record his screens, so I can record his whatever he is typing on his keyboard. So the list just goes on. I have his complete access to his computer. Okay. Now let's get back to the cybersecurity. Okay. So let's take a small illustration. Okay. Uh, okay. Let's say you are working in some company and you are getting a lot of emails. You are getting an email saying you didn't pay your tax, and please click on this attachment and then fill up your details and send it back. So there are a lot of emails which are circulating and targeting a lot of organizations. So the major entry point into an organization or an individual or any system is actually through an email. So everybody has an email address. So every employee has an email address. So the attackers has a lot of ways to exploit those, and they can able to send a lot of malicious emails. So let's say they are sending it to 100 people, at least 2 or 3 people will click and see what is inside that. So when they do it, and then the attacker can able to control the system. So this is where the organizations are facing a lot of troubles in controlling the emails. So yes, so this is the example which I have done it today. So in this case, we have taken a different example, which is not an email, which is just a direct download from a random website, and we can see what happened if you download a wrong file or a suspicious file from the random website. So yeah, so the whole demo is actually displayed here. Let's say see instead here, the target employee is actually downloading a attachment or a file from the internet, and he's executing that the attachment file or the executable file. Then after executing the file, the employee system is connected to the attacker system, which is my system in this case. So I can execute whatever the commands I want. I can steal the data, I can change the data, I can destroy the data. So I have all the possibilities to do whatever I want. So this is where the cybersecurity comes in to prevent all these kind of attacks. Okay. So yeah. So what do you think? What makes you to stop this attack? So what needs to be followed to stop this? Okay. So let me see where to draw the line. So there is something called internal network and internet. So most of the problems are coming from the internet. So what I have done is I just draw two lines in between these segments, and I'm just telling where are the cybersecurity practices needs to be implemented. First is your internet. Yeah, coming to the internet security, you should not believe anything on internet. Okay, whatever you are seeing in the internet, is totally unsafe. It's not. I cannot say it's unsafe. It's have to be like we have to be very cautious in this case. So you should be always aware that what you are clicking, what you are typing, and what you are downloading it from the internet. So if you don't have proper cybersecurity policies, then this whole kind of illustration will be applicable to you as well. So you have to be cyber aware that what is happening in your system, what you are doing it in the internet, and yeah, just to safeguard yourself, you can do a lot of things. I think all the preventive measures and the security policies will be covered in the later part of the slides. Yeah, so this line is something where you have to know what you are doing it on the internet, and this line is where you know what you're doing it in the inside the network. So you should not attack the other employee machines, right? So there should be some kind of cybersecurity policies which needs to be there. So that's why there are two lines. One is between the internet and the organization, and another one is inside the or within the organization. Okay, let's move on. Yeah. Now comes the actual question. So why cybersecurity is important? So as you guys know, what is the end goal? What is the end goal of an attacker? What is the end goal of an unethical hacker? So it's just a very simple. It's all about the data. It's all about your personal information. So what I did is from my past experience, what I understand from a proper unethical hacking is it's all behind. They are all behind the corporate data and personal data. So yeah, so corporate data, let's just split into corporate and personal. So corporate data is basically the company secrets. Let's say you're creating a big deal with the company, and you it's a very big company secret, right? And I assume your system is hacked, and the attackers has access to all your company files, source codes, and all the company secrets. And it's a very big breach, right? So that the corporate data is very, 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 very important. So all the companies will and need should implement all the cybersecurity controls. So yeah, so the corporate data has like these are some data elements in the corporate data: a customer data, username, password, and banking details like credit card, debit card, your online banking credentials. So these all comes under, I clubbed it into a corporate data. So the personal data, this is also very important, right? Let's assume your location has been compromised. Let's say your home address has been compromised. So that is something not good, right? If someone knows where you are living, or some criminal knows where you are living, so they can come and they can do whatever you want. They can come and they can do us. They can they can just steal something from you. And I can give you a very, very funny example. Okay, it really happened. Okay, I'm not joking. This is a very funny example. So there is one rich guy. Okay, so he was posting a lot of things about his whole life in the social media. So he was telling, I am here, I'm living here, he's doing a lot of check-ins. I'm going to this place, I'm going to that place. So there is a one criminal who has been keenly watching what is he doing in the internet. So he has collected a lot of information about the guy. He knows where he goes every day, when we'll be coming to home, and when he goes back. So by identifying all the data, he did a very beautiful master plan, which is, so he found that this guy is going for a vacation for 1 month. So he thought, okay, it's a good time to go to his house and steal money, and he actually did it. So that's a funny part here. So posting about you and posting about your personal life into social media can actually cause a lot of problems than you expected. So yeah, that's just a basic example of how what all the problems will come if your personal data is leaked, or it just hacked by somebody, right? Yeah. Okay. Now let's come to the actual topic, which is ethical hacking. Okay. So anything which I am doing it, which I have done in my demo, legally is called an ethically. Legally, in the sense, let's say I want to do it professionally. So I'll go to a client. The client will give me a permission, and they will give me. Oh, sorry, somebody is scribbling on the screen. Does anybody want to convey something? I can't see the chat. Just a second. Sorry. Guys, if you want to convey something, you can quickly post it in the chat. I can, I can show it to you. Okay. All right. Let's get into the topic again. Okay. So yeah. So any hacking activity, you're doing it with a legal permission or with a legal consent, it's termed to be ethical hacking. So whatever I have done in my demo, If I'm taking a prior permission, or if I take a prior engagement permission to do it, then this is called ethical hacking. If you're doing it in an unethical way, everything will be considered as a crime. Yeah. So you might be thinking, so what is an unethical hacking then? Yeah, whatever you're doing it without the permission is called an unethical hacking. So let's give a small example like cyberbullying. Let's say somebody is keep on threatening you in the social media, or this somebody is blackmailing you. Even sexual harassment is a recent problem in these days. Spying, data theft. So these all comes under unethical hacking. Yeah, so somebody might be curious, I want to still do some hacking and I want to just explore. Yeah, you are right. Even I was like that once upon a time before getting into a professional or legal way of hacking. So these are the consequences which you will be facing it. So first is obviously you'll get a prison time. This is going to be a massive prison time. It's going to be 10 or 20 years at minimum, bare minimum. It goes up to, I can say, lifetime. And yeah, of course, the penalty will be like 1 crore to 10 crore. Even it goes to 50 crore to 100 crore. There has been cases which has happened. And then the final part, which is ban on use of computers and electronic devices. Yes, this sounds very weird, but that's the truth. You'll be monitored by the government. You will be monitored. All your activities will be monitored on the internet. So whatever you are doing it will be properly monitored. So basically, your privacy is completely lost. So don't involve anything on unethical hacking. Just a small request. So please take prior consent before doing anything. Okay. Okay. Any doubts? Just quick pause here. Any doubts? Anybody has something to say? I just quickly go to chat. Okay, I can see a no from one person. Any doubts, guys? Because I don't want to drag the session till the end and asking for doubts. So let's have a frequent pause and we can, sync up together and then we can move together. All right, I'll take this as no doubts. Okay. Okay, moving on. Okay. So yeah, everybody might be curious how an ethical hacker work. How does this job actually works? Yeah, it's pretty much simple. I'm just going to say a small story here. Yeah, let's say there is a bank and you have an account there, and the bank is feeling that they don't have a proper cybersecurity controls, or they don't feel. Yeah, can you hear me, guys? Is it better? Can someone tell me? Can you hear me? So yeah, I can see somebody is asking how to check my system vulnerabilities. Yeah, I have an answer for you. So it all depends on tools. It all depends on what you use on your machine. And so I'll definitely get back to you on this, because this is something which I need to talk for some time. I am noting this point, and I will be definitely letting your answer. Yeah. So let's just get back to the session. Okay. So how does an ethical hacker work? So there are a lot of ways and lot of different approaches which we can follow as an ethical hacker. So there is the beauty of this field is it's so dynamic. There is no such thing like a four. You have to follow 4 steps and you have to do this. So that's the beauty of this. There is no such thing like this. You are on your own. You can do whatever you want. You can follow any approach, and you can just do whatever you want. Yeah, so let's come to our illustration here. So I'm going to say a small story kind of thing, how an ethical hacker work from the start till the end. Okay. All right, so let's say there is a bank, it's called XYZ bank, and the bank want to ensure that they want to be safe, they want to have a proper controls on the internet, so that no attacker will come and hack and then they'll steal money, right? So that is the motto of a bank, right? They want their customers to be secure, feel secure, and they don't want their any attackers to steal money from the bank. So that if it happens, then it's going to cause a huge reputation issues. So that is the reason. So bank has to comply to a lot of security controls or the policies, I can say, right? Yeah. Second thing. So how does this bank actually reach? So they just go to ethical hacking company and they'll recruit somebody saying, so I just want 5 people, 5 ethical hackers, and I want them to test my bank's network. So bank's network is very, very critical because it has a lot of sensitive information. It has all your credit card information, debit card information, and customer records, phone numbers, address, other ID. So the bank has to ensure that these ethical hackers has to do, and they have to break something so that the bank will know where the problem is and they will try to fix it. Okay. So the task of an ethical hacker is basically very, very, very simple. You have to break the network security controls and you have to gain access to the machine. Okay, so that is the ultimate motto of any ethical hacker. Okay, all right. So we all know that bank has an security controls, and the task of an ethical hacker is to break into it. So what an ethical hacker ideally does, and what a normal people usually does, if you want to do something, you will plan, right? I mean, you will be planning something to do. Let's say you are going to steal something. You will be planning, right, whether the owner of that thing is actually present, or if he is present, then how can I steal it? If he is not present, then how can I steal it? So you'll do an initial planning, right? So it is applicable to here as well. So the planning phase is a very, very, very important phase where you have to spend months and months about this planning activity, and uh, we have to plan to see what we can do on the bank's network and how to break into bank's network. So from my experience, ideally, if we are doing something on my client, we usually spend 2 or 3 months just to plan. So you can see how the infrastructure is, because banks or any companies, usually their infrastructure is very, 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 very huge, and we need to plan for months and months to execute a proper ethical hacking work. All right. So yeah, first phase, ethical hacker tries to gather existing information. So I'll tell you guys, if you know how to Google, you can gain lot of very sensitive information which should not be even available on the internet. Yeah, there are a lot of possibilities which you can, if you do a proper Google, or if you dig a lot of things in the internet, you can actually find out a lot of sensitive information like usernames, passwords, and bank credit card numbers, and you can see even CVV numbers and PIN numbers. Yeah. So so this is why information gathering is very important, right? So this is the first phase. So this is the planning phase is completed now. So ethical hacker is going to do something further. Okay. Second thing. So after gathering the information, what he has to do? So he has to consolidate a plan. Okay, I have found four things. So I have to focus on one thing or two things which are actually which can be actually an entryway to a bank's network. So he will just do another set of research and he will conclude that, okay, out of 4 ways, I can able to successfully, execute, or I can successfully exploit the bank's network. So what he does, so he try to scan the bank's system. He try to scan. There are a lot of ways to scan. So I'm not going to cover all the hacking techniques or hacking attacks or the hacking tools. It's basically going to be the glimpse. So I'm just going to tell you how an ethical hacking works. So after the information gathering, he will just start scanning the bank system in the internet. So everybody might be aware, right? So we have a lot of bank services in the internet. Let's say online banking, your mutual funds, and there are a lot of things which you can say. So these guys will try to scan all those applications, all those servers in the internet, and they'll come to a conclusion saying, okay, this server is vulnerable to an attack. If I can exploit this attack, I can break the security controls of this server, and I can get back into the bank's network. I can connect to the bank's network completely. So that's how this phase is work. This phase is completely on scanning. They will scan whatever they have identified, and they'll come to a conclusion that, okay, actually there is a problem on this machine. If we can able to exploit that machine, then we can gain access into the bank's network. Yeah. So that's what they are going to do. So whatever they have identified it, they'll be launching some specialized attacks on the bank's network, and then they'll try to gain access, or they will try to access the bank's internal network. So once you exploit it from the internet and you can gain access to the internal network, it is actually a big problem to the bank. See, if an ethical hacker can do it, even an unethical hacker can do it, right? So we have to quickly inform the bank that we got access into the bank, and so that the bank should not panic, right? Somebody has actually attacked the system. So this is actually a first victory for us. We were able to connect to the bank's internal network, and the target is not achieved. So we can still do something more. We can even try to compromise the data. We can try to steal the data from the servers. Yeah, so that's the ideal target for the ethical hacker. So what he does is, so he gains access to this machine first from the internet. So that's what the previous phases say. So he attacked the bank's network in the internet and gained access to this server. From this server, he will try to expand his search and he will try to understand what are the systems that are available in the bank's internal network. He will try to scan how many servers are there in the internet. From the internal network, and he will try to attack the possible systems and the servers in the bank's network. So in the end, what he uses, let's say he got access into some database which is having a lot of customer records. So that is actually a milestone for an ethical hacking or ethical hacker. So what he does is he goes to this system and he will demonstrate a small example saying, I can able to extract the information from, let's say this is the database system, and let's say this is our attacker control system. So we hacked this, he compromised the system, able to see the data, able to retrieve the data from this mission to this mission, and this mission to the internet control ethical hackers mission. So this is actually a breach, right? You can say even though the bank is saying we have a lot of security controls, still the attacker can able to penetrate into their network, and they can access the system in the internal network, and they can compromise even further systems in the internet, and they were able to gather or they were able to dump, or they were able to retrieve the information from this database which is having sensitive information to their attacker controlled internal network to the ethical hackers machine. So the problem now, this is a big problem for the banks. So banks are like now, even they know they have a lot of controls, they are still lacking a lot of security controls. So that is where this whole thing goes. So this is what an actual ethical hacker do. Even this is what we usually do it in our job. We just go to a bank, we just analyze information, scan the systems, find a vulnerability, and then attack that, gain access to a system, and then the ultimate end is to steal the sensitive information. So that is the ideal end goal of any ethical hacking activity, right? So so I was talking about some phases, right? How an ethical hacking works. So these are the 5 phases which you will be following it for any ethical hacking activity. So reconnaissance is actually the planning activity. You'll be doing a lot of information you'll be doing a lot of searching on the internet. So you'll be searching a lot of servers, IP addresses, host names, these services, what is this bank offering, what are the applications in the bank. So these all comes under this reconnaissance phase, right? So now comes a scanning pod. So scanning pod is again, if you found out 10 servers, you will be scanning all the 10 servers, and you will be coming to a conclusion that okay, out of 10 servers, I can assure that there are 2 to 3 servers which are actually vulnerable to some attacks. So if we can able to exploit the attack, then you can able to access to the bank's network, right? So next, then comes the gaining phase. Then you found out that the 2 systems are vulnerable, so you launch a specialized attacks on that vulnerable servers, and then you will be gaining access, right? So that's what we have been, we have seen in this past slides. You can see, so he will try to exploit the identity vulnerability here, and he attempts to gain access to the bank's network. So that is the gaining access phase here. So the maintaining access. So all right. So so maintaining access is something which is very, very critical, because in a lot of my projects, we used to gain access, but we will not able to gain access for a longer time. Sometimes the bank people will, they'll detect your activity and they'll block you. So you have to be very, 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 very stealthy of what you're doing it in the internet. And so we have to craft specialized attacks so that the bank's antivirus or the bank's security team will not detect your activity. So this is a very, very important phase. So maintaining access for a longer term is something which, every ethical hacker has to learn, and he will leverage it from his experience, I can say. All right, so this is something, this is also very important, clearing tracks. Let's say you hacked into a machine, and even though the machine is having a lot of antivirus, it will take some time for them to detect. So whatever the activities which you performed on that machine has to be cleared, so that your antivirus or your any other security controls will not detect it as a threat. Right? So clearing tracks is something which you need to know how you cover your track, and how we know how to do it in a stealthy way, without less damage, or with less tracing. Because ideally in the end, somebody is going to analyze the compromise mission and they can able to trace back to you. So this is going to be a problem, right? So so when an advanced ethical hacker is working on it, so you'll be focusing more on these two phases. And so when you're able to clear tracks on your site, then there is a less possibility of getting detected while doing this ethical hacking activity. All right. Yeah, again, I'm taking a small pause here. I just want to have a uh, quick feedback or just quick doubts. Does anybody have any issues? So I can see end of session discuss. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mobile banking is safe. Yeah, mobile banking is safe. I told you, right. So if you're using a particular bank's application, then you are good and go. If you are just if you're just trying to log in from a different system, but I can assure you that mobile banking is something which is very safe rather than logging into a computer and then logging to a net banking. So mobile application restricts yourself only in that application. So nobody can actually access your application. So mobile banking is something which I can say it's safe. Yeah, you got an answer. If Google Pay like to bank transfer, I think I'm not the right person to answer this question. I'm really sorry. I don't think that. I think there is a cap for the amount, I guess. Another question. Yeah, please, Pon Shivamurugan, please go ahead. What is your question? Hmm, okay. No problem. Yeah. So, what are the tools for ethical hacking? Yeah, I'll definitely come back to the tools section because ideally this is just a glimpse, right? So I cannot show you all the tools and stuff. But anyway, I'll be giving you an extensive set of list for tools. So you can practice your ethical hacking skills and you can go for the job opportunities. So I'll definitely cover that part. I think her name is Jayanti. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. I'll give you an extensive list of tools to work on it. Okay. All right. I think considering the time, I have to move on. All right. Yeah. So the next very important question. So how does one be an ethical hacker? Right. So everybody will be saying, so if I want to study hacking, I want to learn programming language. No. So it's not the programming language. It's a scripting language, I can say. Programming is something which is too mainstream. Programming is something which you will develop something very big as a software or as a product. So you don't need a complete programming skills to be an ethical hacker. You just need to know a small flavor of programming languages. I'll definitely come back to this on the scripting part. Okay. So first and foremost important thing is you have to know computer networks. I think most of the computer science, electronics, electrical, and even IT computer science, they have all their computer network sessions or in their part of curriculum. So computer network is very, 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 very must. Without knowing this, you cannot even go to any other steps. So computer network is very, very important. So please learn all the networking concepts like TCP, IDP, UDP, networking, subnetting. So these are the basic stuff which is required. So spend more time on computer networks. How two computers talk to each other, when how are they communicating, what protocols are used, how the traffic is passed between one system to another system. So these are things which you don't need any expertise. Just go to Google, just type computer networks. So I will give you a reverse way. Okay, instead studying the theory and doing your practicals, you do it in an entirely reverse way. Let's say you set up a tour machine in your system. If you don't have a tour machines, you just install a virtual machine and then try to intercept the traffic between these two machines. Let's say you're browsing something from this machine to that machine, or if you're accessing a shade ray from one machine to another machine, just try to intercept the traffic and to see how these two systems are communicating, how these files are getting transferred. So these are the basic things which are very much required for ethical hacker to become a successful ethical hacker. And then comes the another important field which is called operating systems. Yeah, so I would say it's always good to know about all the operating systems. Let's say there are like Windows operating system, which is a predominant in the whole world. Next comes the Linux machines, Unix machines, and you can say Mac. So Mac is the least used operating system. I mean, I can say as from a project perspective or from a client perspective. Hello, can you hear me, guys? Yeah. Hello, sir. Can you able to hear me? Ashok sir, can you hear me, sir? All right, I'll get back to the queries, guys. You guys keep posting the queries. I'll definitely get back to you in the end of session. All right, so let's come to this operating system. So operating system, so you don't need to learn the core of operating system, but you have to know how operating system works. When you're executing a software, how the operating system is actually functioning that. So you have to know how operating system works. Let's say you are running if you're just opening a paint, let's say what are the process involved in opening a paint, or what are the process involved in opening a notepad. So how this operating system is actually talking to the software, talking to the hardware. So you have to know something on operating system as well, because in this field you will be working with a lot of different operating systems. So it's always good to know at least two operating systems, which is Windows and Linux, I can say. So these are the two major operating systems which you have to focus on it. You have to know how to just work on those two operating systems as well. You have to have a complete idea about the command line or a command line interface as well. You should not just go to the Windows Explorer. So you have to know a complete idea about how a command line activity works. So the command line activities are basically your CLI. I'll just quickly give you a small example. Let's say, so how do you open a file? You just go to my computer, go to your C drive or D drive, and then open your file, right? So there are cases where you will not be having a graphical user interface. So graphical user interface is something which is called your complete user interface, where you can move your mouse, you can just click on some items, you can see icons and stuff. But majority of the servers, they don't have a graphical user interface. All right. So so you have to be familiarized with this command line interface as well. So you have to know how to create a folder. You have to know how to retrieve a file from one machine, how to copy it, how to create it, how to delete it. So you have to know. So you have to be familiar with command line arguments, because most of the projects will be, so once you hack into the system, you will not be having a complete graphical user interface. You'll be having only the command line interface. So it's always good to familiarize with command line interfaces. So that is all about operating system. Yeah, now comes scripting. So I think still many people were having a lot of doubts. So which programming language to learn to be a hacker? So I would say learn everything you can. So you cannot stick on to only one programming language or a scripting language, right? So when you go to a ethical hacking industry, you will be facing a lot of different languages. So basically, I can code on Python, C, C++, and PHP. So this is not one such list. There are a lot of programming language which you can learn, which you can actually implement in your ethical hacking field. So don't stick on to one language. Please try to learn the basics of a programming language and try to implement in multiple languages. Let's say you learn only Python, but if you go to a ethical hacking project or an engagement, you will be facing a lot of different programming language. So don't restrict yourself in one programming language. Try to expand your knowledge to different programming language. Just you don't need to be a complete master in that language, but you have to know when you are seeing and C code, you have to know what is happening. When you are seeing a C# code or PHP code or a Java code, you can at least able to interpret what is happening on that code. So that level of knowledge you need to have it for, I mean, majority of the programming languages. And yeah, scripting. So scripting is basically, let's say you are scanning something on the internet, and let's say there is only one server, so you can easily scan it. Let's say there are 1,000 servers. So how do you do it? So it's a very big pain, right? So you cannot manually scan all the 1,000 servers. It will take at least a month or 2 months, I can say. So in this case, how scripting helps you is you can automate certain tasks. Let's say you can write a small 3 or 4 line script. What it does is it will just automatically create a process for you. It will do all the scanning for the complete 1,000 servers at a time, and then it will give you a result. So the amount of work, manual work, which required was actually 2 months, which can be done in 2 or 3 hours. So that is why the scripting comes into this place. Okay, so try to write small automation scripts, like scanning 4 systems at a time, and fetching files from different servers, and try to scrape something from the internet. So do something like hardly like a 10 or 15 lines of code. You don't need to write a complete program to do it. just write 5 or 4 lines and then try to automate it, because automation is a very much essential for cybersecurity, because most of the ethical hacking projects, the timeline will be very less. So you have to get into the organization network in a month. So you cannot rely on your manual methods. So do some scripting, create your scripts on your own, learn some programming language, and then try to implement, so that you can quickly automate your task. So sooner you finish, more you can able to achieve. That's what I can say. So if you have a lot of automation scripts, then you are the king for that entire domain. So you can quickly do whatever you want in a very limited amount of time. All right, let's come to the last point, which is Googling. Yes, to be honest, I learned everything through Google, even though I have done my master's in cybersecurity. But all the attacks, all the all the techniques, all the prevention methods, I used Google in extensive way, so that I can gain a lot of information from that. And you don't need to have a certificate to be an ethical hacker. It's all depends on your self learning, I can say. So Google has enormous amount of information in the internet. You just spend a lot of time. Don't just quickly go to a system and then start hacking it. Please don't do that. Just start Google it, how to approach, how to do it, how to prevent it, how to detect it. So there are a lot of different domains over there. Okay, so try to Google as much you can, because if there's a system which can be accessed in one way, I'm sure there will be thousands of other ways to do it as well. So please learn all the ways, try to create your own ways, because all the thousand ways may not be work at the same time. So you have to do something extra, you have to learn something new to achieve something you want. So that's why I said this field is a dynamic field. You cannot always rely on, okay, I want to use a for statement, so I have to use only for statement. No, it's not like that. So this field is completely an dynamic field. There is no such thing as only 1,000 ways to hack a machine. I can say it's numerous. There is no number for it. Each and every day, a lot of new attacks coming in, a lot of new vulnerabilities coming in. So it's all about how you are aware of what's happening in the cyber domain, and read, and you can say read a lot of news in the internet. So let's say there's a small cybersecurity incident happening, and you just try to go through it. I think there are a lot of good forums where you can actually read the cybersecurity in a layman terms. Even a non-IT guy can able to understand what's happened in that cyber incident. So just start from the basics, go through all the things, Google it. Whenever you have doubt, don't stop yourself. You have a lot of forums. I think everybody might be aware of Stack Overflow. In the Stack Overflow, there is a separate domain for computer networking and cybersecurity. Please use those forums very well, and yeah, post your queries and you will get an immediate response. So I learned a lot of things from my forum. Yeah, I can see somebody is raising hands. Just a second. Uh, yes. Okay. Guide us through. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely come back to this. So, yeah, so case studies. So I think pretty much everybody knows or heard about this news called WannaCry ransomware. Yeah, I think I'm sure pretty much it's a very nasty, or it's a very problematic piece of software. When it comes to your machine, it just encrypts all your data on the machine, and it will ask for the money to decrypt it, or it will ask for the money to get back your original data. So this WannaCry is something, I'll quickly go through this link, okay, just for the understanding. You guys can have a complete look on this. So this is a small case study done by some company. All right. So even see, you can see India is one of the affected countries of this WannaCry ransomware malware, I can say. So yeah, almost 250K systems are affected. So that's a huge thing, right? So it includes a lot of organization. That's a problem. Let's say you are having an account in some bank, and suddenly that account got compromised, or you may not know what has happened on the system, and all the data are inaccessible. Then that's a big problem, right? So these are some advanced attacks, I can say, where even it takes a lot of time to learn these kind of attacks, or it takes a lot of time to write these kind of programs, because the attackers of the criminal mindset is to do only these kind of activities. So they'll just write all the bad stuff, bad softwares, and they'll just launch it in the internet. So in the end, it's going to be a lot of organizations who is going to get affected. So always be aware of what is happening in the cyber domain. So that was my only motto on this. Please read a lot of good stuff in the internet. See, this is a very beautiful analysis by some company. You can see how it came and what are the entryways. It came through emails. So there are a lot of things which you can learn it from the case studies. Okay. So case studies is a good example, I can say. And then Yahoo breach. Yeah, I think if anybody is having an Yahoo account, please don't use it. I can say Yahoo is compromised long back. So if anybody is having a Yahoo account, please switch to a Gmail or some other email providers, because Yahoo breach is one of the massive breach which happened in the history. I'm sorry. Yeah, so you can see how many accounts, 500 million accounts. I am sure one of our accounts will be there on the breach. So please don't use Yahoo. Yahoo is not safe anymore, I can say. So please go for some other email providers. And yeah, of course, we have something on other breach as well. So I'll show you a quick link on it. Sorry, yeah. Yes, so now we know there are a lot of problems coming on other breach. So other is something which is a unique identity card of an every citizen in India. So let's say, what are the effects which will cause when your Aadhaar data is actually breached? So I'll tell you. So with your Aadhaar card data, you can able to actually reset your bank login details. So that is something very important, right? So using your other data, because it's your personal identification number. So in many banks, if you're trying to reset something, they will ask you for a personal verification number. Let's say they want to know your passport number or they want to know your other number. So if somebody is having your data and they can able to quickly use this or can leverage this data, and they can they can just reset your bank details, that is a big problem. So try to limit or try not to post these kind of personal information in the internet, or don't upload it on anywhere in the internet. All right. And so I think these are the three important case studies which I want to say. And coming to the securing side, yeah, so these are the basic very basic things. I will not say these are the only list. These are some basic things which anybody, which a non-IT guy can do it. Okay, let's say you are browsing something on the internet. So I can give you a very big example on this point. Okay, so let's say you are downloading a movie from the internet. Sometimes you will be getting a lot of pop-ups, right? So I'm telling you, those pop-ups are very bad. When you click on it, it will start downloading some random files into your system. Please don't click on any links if you are unsure about it. Okay, so this is the big entry point into your computer. So when you are not sure, okay, you feel like, okay, and you can also see there are a lot of download links in the movie sites. I can still see it. There will be like 4 to 5 download buttons. You will never know which one to click, which one not to click. So in this case, better don't click it. So if you want to watch a movie, I don't advise piracy, but please watch it in some uh, good quality streaming like Amazon Prime or Netflix. Please don't use any pirated softwares or pirated movies. Yes. Now coming to the very most important point, which is passwords. So this is a bigger challenge even in 2020. I can so from a past 10 to 15 projects, I can still see people are using 1 2 3 4 5 6 password, which is not a good advice, I can say. So I can say, forget password, use fast phrases. So fast phrases is something which is, which is very easy to remember, which is very long, which is very lengthy one. So let's say, for a better example, I can say you can write a complete song name or a song first name from the song. Let's say you want to create a 15 character password. So you can just imagine some song or some favorite line from your book or from your whatever you have it. Just try to fast phrase this into a 8 or 9 digit character. So when you try to do it, it looks like a junky password. It is easy to remember, and you can it is actually a very good practice
So this
also.
will be this will be a learning exercise for them practically. Their day-to-day living will be very
I think I can hear some.
Only
Okay.
based on the performance of your team.
Sir, do you want to convey something? Vincent, sir, do you want to convey something?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Tell me.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you, sir. Please go on.
Yeah, you proceed. You proceed. You proceed.
No problem, sir. Okay. So use phosphorus because phosphorus is very important and it is very hard to predict. Passwords are usually funny. Still, people are using, let's say, I love you 123, or just say your name at the rate your date of birth. These are easily predictable, right? So if you use a phrases, you can even write a complete lyric of a first line of a lyric in any songs. So those are very hard to predict it. And nowadays you can have something called multi-factor authentication. So if you still fail, I want to get more secure, please use your multi-factor authentication. It is nothing but where you can have an additional layer of authentication. Once you give your password, you have to again authenticate using your mobile device OTP and stuff. So yeah, so these are some good practices I can say. And another important fact, never share too much of information. Yeah, that's correct. So if you are using a social networking site like Instagram or Facebook, you have to keep in mind that whatever you are posting on the internet, it's not private. Even though if you keep your picture as private, it is still accessible at certain point of time. So please stop sharing a lot of information. Don't share your location always. Don't share your house address. There are certain times people don't even realize they are standing in front of their house taking a picture and they don't even realize that their home address is behind it. So it is a big problematic, especially this kind of problem happens for a lot of girls, I can say. So please, guys, please aware of your surroundings. Please aware of where you are taking the picture, and don't post a lot of information on the internet. Let's say I am here today, I am there today. So don't try to avoid it. Don't post it too much. If you want to still post it, please post it after 2 days or something, so that people will not know where you are there, because you are already at home and you are posting it something which just happened 2 days back. So don't do that. And this is also a same point I can say, never download files from suspicious website. I gave you a complete demo of what happened. So yeah, so be aware of what you are downloading, even if you are downloading it, and don't execute it, please. There are a lot of files which come as zip, but those are not actually zip files. But sometimes they can be, they'll trick you to, think that you are downloaded a zip file, but it might be actually an exe file. So please be aware of what you are downloading it and what you are executing it. And yeah, and common thing, please use antivirus and anti-malware softwares. So I don't know, but these days nobody is using antivirus. They think that okay, I don't need an antivirus. No, I can still say antivirus and anti-malware is still an effective way to stop a lot of hacking activities. So I gave you a small demo, right? So so this is the target user has downloaded something and he executed it, because that mission, the Windows 7 mission, doesn't have any antivirus and anti-malware protection. So obviously your system has no protection in it, right? So he will open it, no antivirus will scan the file. So this is going to cause a lot of problems. So try to have some good antivirus. Don't install some antivirus from a random company. They'll say we will give it for free, but don't use it. Use some some good antivirus softwares on your personal machine. If you feel there are more data in it, try to do a lot of backups in it. You may not know what is coming to your system. So let's say you are having a lot of project files in your system. Please do a frequent backups on it. And coming to the last point, which is your personal software updates. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many people are actually doing your Windows update. So Windows update is very, very, very essential, because Windows is a very highly targeted system for ethical hacking, I can say. So every day you are getting a lot of security issues in Windows. So that is why you guys will feel always annoyed. Oh my God, I'm getting so much of Windows updates. I know, I felt the same pain, but it's always good to keep your system updated, and even your softwares as well. If you're using some older version of software, please try to update it to the latest version, so that you will be at least free from certain types of vulnerabilities and attacks. Basic things which anybody can do it. Okay, so I think
Ashwin,
we have. Yes, sir.
Mr. Ashwin.
Yeah. So I'm telling you guys, cybersecurity is one such field where you'll get some decent money than your normal IT jobs. That's a truth. Yeah, it's not a myth. That's a truth. If you're good at something in cybersecurity, I'm telling you, you'll get thrice the amount of pay from a normal developer or normal support work. So these are some common cybersecurity roles, I can say. So there are like security analyst, security engineer. So my role is basically a security consultant. So I go to my client's place. I give them some advices about the cybersecurity practices. We will tell them, we will test your network, and we will give them the observations, what are the problems in your network, and we will tell them, okay, so we will give them the proper recommendations of how to solve these issues. So that is the ideal way of consultant. So this chief information security officer is the head of cybersecurity. So he is the one who handles or who manages the whole cybersecurity inside an organization. So everybody might be knowing about information or a chief executive officer, right? CEO. So there is something called CISO, which is chief information security officer. So who is the head of information security, I can say. So and then penetration tester, and this is also more of like an ethical hacking. It focuses more on networking side. Okay. And then computer cybersecurity incident responder. I think there was a session which happened last week, and so that person might be telling about this security and incident. And this is the costliest paid job, I can say, crypto analyst. So you'll get a decent salary of 1 to 2 lakhs if you are a crypto analyst. And I'm telling you guys, this is a very booming field, but this is also a very 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 tough field, and it requires a lot of maths to be done. So if anybody is interested in Max and they want to combine information security, please go on with this crypto analyst field. Okay, this is a very interesting uh, role. Administrator is something, yeah, whatever. If there are some firewalls and if you're administrating it, then it comes to the role called security administrator. And yeah, source code auditor. So this is also a very interesting field. If somebody is more interested in programming languages, if you are good at coding, please try this. This is also a very a very challenging field, I can say. So this is I have done quite a lot of source code reviews, and this is very crazy also because you will be getting like 20,000 lines of code, and you have to review it manually also. So if you are anybody is good at programming and they want to do something in cybersecurity, please go for this kind of job roles. Okay, these are some very good job roles in cybersecurity. So these are some, I can say, these are some entry level, and these are some intermediate level, and this is the chief executive level, I can say. Yeah. And yeah, so coming to the training and certification, so this is my last slide, guys. So I will quickly guide you how to pursue certifications in cybersecurity. So just go to this link. So this link is actually an Indian School of Ethical Hacking organization. So they are here teaching a lot of information security courses. So I'll tell you how to use this site very properly, right? So there is something called, if you just scroll down to the website, so there is something called select a course. Let's say you are a non-technical computer user. So in this case, let's take I'm a BTech or MC or BC student with some knowledge of information technology. Just click on it, and then boom, you can see all your cybersecurity courses here. So make use of this site. It has a very good learning curve. So you can just, they will even give you what is the duration of the course, price and stuff. So there is a ethical hacking certification. So this is a predominant certification, I can say, certified ethical hacker. So this is one of the best accredited certification in the cybersecurity field. So yeah, so if anybody is having career related doubts or certification related doubts, please make use of this website. It has a very good extensive list of certifications. And when he is telling, I wish I want to become a network engineer, then you have CCNA, ethical hacking, NPT. So it gives you a very good learning curve, what to do and what not to do. Okay, and let's say if you're a non-technical user, and yeah, so you have to attend from basic workshop, and then you can start going into advanced courses, I can say. All right, so any kind of a certification doubts, you can please feel to refer this website. It has a good list of what to do in terms of cyber certifications. So yeah, I'm taking a final pause here. Please post your queries, guys. I'm open for feedbacks now. Let me chat. Okay, I'll just stop.
So Ashwin,
Yes, sir. Tell me, sir.
most of them giving the good feedback about you, about this session, and
Okay,
asking
sir.
some of the doubts also.
Sure, sir.
But
I'll just quickly go through the Zoom chat and I can answer those questions, sir.
okay, Ashwin, okay.
Okay. Let me just quickly go back somewhere. Come GPay save. I think so. Pony, you have to elaborate your question. I'm not sure about this question. Okay. Fast phrases. I'll quickly give you an example of what is fast phrases. Yeah. So yeah, this is a small difference between a password and a passphrases. So even though it looks like a normal paragraph, but it looks like some jumbled form of paragraph, right? I love ice cream, and it has all the possible characters. It has an uppercase, a special character, and another special character. So this is ideally a called and fast phrase. So this is it is just one example. You can use whatever you want. It is very easy to remember it. So that's what I'm telling you. Instead using a complicated password like this. So I would still say these are some unsecure passwords. Even if you use a complicated password like this, it is still an unsecure way. So try to use something like this. So when you use fast phrases, it goes like around 15 to 16 character. Very hard to brute force it or very hard to predict it. So go for fast phrases. This is a new trend. So stop using these kind of things to start using fast phrases. All right, and moving on to next question. I'll quickly go through the questions. Mention the site again. Okay, I'll just give you the site names. So I'm posting it in the chat so you can have a quick look into it. Uh, mm, Tools and call Linux. So tools and call explain about. See, I told you right. So if I start explaining about the tools, then the session is more of like an teaching ethical hacking. So the ideal session topic is glimpse. I'm just explaining how an ethical hacking works. So anyway, so feel free to reach out to me after the session. I'll definitely. I'm very glad to help you on this. Okay, and. Shodan, wow, I think somebody is knowing how Shodan works. Yeah, Shodan is something which is very, 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 I can say it's a very good intelligence site. Okay. I can give you a real time example. So Shodan is something, what it does, how it works is it just scans the whole internet. It just scans everything in the internet. And then whatever it is identifying from the internet, it will maintain a big repository. Let's say you want to scan an organization called XYZ. So what you will do is you just go here and type XYZ. You just need to type their organization name. So what it does is it will just do a big query on that and try to identify whether it has any information about that organization domains, and then it will give you the results if it has any. So that's how the Shodan works. It is basically a big repository of the scanning results. I'm sure you can see 90% of the internet data is available in the Shodan. So I think you need to have a small subscription on it. So the free version has very limited features. So try to go for Shodan. Shodan is a very good learning experience. Shodan is a very good site for doing your planning activity. So it has a lot of details in it. So try to explore it and suggest some secured app for conducting online classes. Okay, secured app. It's kind of a tricky question, but I will say don't use Zoom. You know, a lot of issues which happened in Zoom. Okay, Zoom is fine. I think Zoom updates are pretty much good now. I think they're doing a decent job. So I can say still Skype is good, and to try to use Skype. I think this question is from S. Malati. So Skype is good, Teams are good. So there is something called Microsoft Teams. I can still say if you're doing a very small amount of, I can say video chatting a session, use WhatsApp itself. WhatsApp is having a very good future. So, okay, downloading penetration tools from GitHub is secure or not? All right, yeah. So, downloading penetration tools is not a, I can say it's secure, but no, I'm not getting your question exactly. So, you can download it from anywhere, right? It's still secure. You can download it from any other website. It's just secure. Don't worry about that. And using Termux in Android phone, yeah, it's totally. I can say it's totally good, not a problem. You can use it. You can have a complete CLI feel of your Android mobile. Is Tor browser safe? See, guys, I cannot give you assurity that okay, everything is safe. At certain point of times, everything is going to be, everything is unsecure. I can say at some point of time you can break into anything you want. So Tor browser it's not for security, it's for privacy. So it is not a security browser, it is for your privacy. If you want to, hide your IP address and details, you don't want to know what sites you are visiting, then this Tor browser is actually helping you. So this is not for security, this is for privacy. So I don't think I can say Tor is safe or not. I will say a neutral answer. It is yes and it is no. So yeah, each app is asking permissions to access media and other contents. Yeah, and thanks. Yes, I think my colleague one. Yeah, this is also a very big problem nowadays. Everything is on mobile, right? So yeah, please stop downloading games which you are not sure. Especially lot of problems in Chinese applications. So don't download games from some random website. Use your Play Store. Try to install tools only from your Play Store. Please don't download, or please don't get any APK from your friends and then install it and then start playing it. Please don't do it. It is totally unsafe and it's totally unsecure as well. So yeah, I can say even if Facebook is asking for media and other contents for a different reason, but if they want to do something, they can do it. They have the they have the privilege to do it as well. So okay, so I think I have answered your question. Mention some safe antivirus. I think Google will give you a best answer for this. Please Google it. I'm really sorry for that. Is OSCP certification necessary for a beginner? No, I will not advise OSCP as beginner certifications. Please go to this, the link which I have posted. It has a very good details about how to start as a beginner and how to go as an intermediate and how to go for advanced courses. So OSCP is an intermediate certificate. I will not advise this for a beginner. So it needs a lot of prerequisite needs to be done. So it's better don't start with OSCP as a beginner. Is Zoom app safe or not? See, guys, I can't guarantee the answers on it. So I'm sorry about this question. And how to do safe online banking? I would say use your mobile. Mobile banking is something which is pretty much decent and safe. Try not to use your online banking in the computer or in your laptop, I can say. So I think I have seen this. Let me go down. His search ply tool account to man middle task. See, for this kind of tools and questions, please contact me directly. I'll definitely help you on that. So, is there any free ethical hacking certification? See, guys, I'm telling you guys. So don't keep in the mind that I want to do certificate, then only I can study. Don't. So certification is only required when you actually go for a job. So let's say if you are in the first year or second year, don't directly jump into the hacking courses and you feel like no, I want to do some certification. So let's not get into that aspect so that you can always learn all the advanced attacks just by googling it. So you just need to know how to Google it, and you will get a lot of information just for free in the internet. uh, Metasploit, yeah. So in my demo I have used Metasploit. It is an ethical hacking framework where you can use to control the target machine. How to set a fast phrase? Yeah, I think there are a lot of internet portals which can help you to create a fast phrases. You just need to type the words which you want. It will create a big first page for you. And yeah, thank you guys. And yeah, coming to thank you, Preeti, for actually quoting this point. Yeah, bug bounty. Come on, guys. This is a very good time to invest your time on bug bounties. So, bug bounty is something where you can do hacking legally and get easy money without. It's actually a freelancing job where anybody can do it and you can easily earn money. So I'll tell you what is bug bounty. It's just a quick 2 minute introduction about bug bounty. So bug bounties are something, let's say, you are running a company and you don't have enough money to invest on cybersecurity. So you don't have enough money to hire some cybersecurity people and do testing on your organization. So instead, what you will do, so you'll go to these bug bounty portals. You can post your requirements. You can just say, so I have 5 web applications to test, and then whoever is testing it, I will give you money for it. Let's say they have an online banking. You just post your online banking setup on the internet in a bug bounty portal. So anybody can test it. And in the end of testing, if you find something interesting or if you find something critical, you will make a report and you will send it to the client who posted the requirement. So based on the criticality of the finding or the observation, you will be rewarded with crazy amount of money. So why I'm telling you to focus on bug bounty is because now you guys are having a lot of time in hand. So whoever is having time in hand, please start, whoever is already having an expertise in web hacking, or you can say ethical hacking, please start invest your time in bug bounty. It's a free money, guys. Just spend 2 or 3 days in an application, find something interesting, report it. You will get around like $5,000, $2,000. So please start invest your time in bug bounty. It's a very good learning portal as well. So you will meet a lot of ethical hackers, a lot of pen testing people around the world. So you can just chat with them. You can understand how they have done it. You can read how they have done it. So there is something called write-ups. So you can just read out how people has actually done it. Okay, so yeah, please look into this bug bounty. So I would say use hacker one and bug crowd. So these are the two predominant sites for bug bounties. So start registering it and then start hacking it, guys. These are two important portals, I can say. To become a hacker, should I know bash script? No, I can say yes, because bash script is also very important. It's a part of an automation. So when you're using a Linux machine, if you are very good at bash scripting, then you can do a lot of amazing things with Linux. So yeah, bash script is important, I can say. Yeah, you have to know it. You have to know the basics at least. Any other queries, guys? So please use this site, the one which I posted. It has a lot of information about certifications. And yeah, so if you have any other queries on tools, how to install tools, how to configure, how to troubleshoot, please reach out to me on LinkedIn. So my LinkedIn link is here. So yeah. Sorry, guys. So I am available on LinkedIn. So please feel free to post your queries on the LinkedIn. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. And yeah, so final thing. Anybody have any other queries before wrapping up the session? Sir, did we receive any feedback or any queries from YouTube, Ashok sir?
Mr. Ashok,
Yes, sir.
any queries?
From YouTube, I think we are streaming on YouTube as well. So do we have any queries from YouTube?
We came to know that from the chat box, you have given all the inputs to the queries.
Okay, so I think, yeah, that's why I
That's
just
it.
want to
No
quickly.
more doubts from the YouTube links.
Okay, great, sir. I think then thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. So yeah, stay safe, create awareness. Please talk to this. Please share this information with your parents, with your relatives, with your friends. don't feel bad that no, I don't want to talk cybersecurity.
HOD phone அடிச்சு
Please.
முடிய போதான் சார் பேசுவீங்களா சார் சொல்லு
Okay.
வேமா போறேன்
Okay, let me call on our HOD to give the vote of thanks.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Yeah, I think. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your time. Stay safe. Bye bye.
Sir,
Good afternoon, Ashwin.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you? Very nice session.
Thank
Excellent session.
you, sir. Thank you so much.
I think you have talked much about the cyber security and other information. But the many faculty members were there, and we thought we start with only the students, and many faculty members also joining the entire webinar. I think we started the webinar after the COVID as a season 1 and season 2. And first we did for the just the fundamentals and as well as the machine learning for the season 1 with our alumni, our own alumni and others. And the last week we conducted the session for faculty members from the IIT Madras. And 26th we have a 30th we have a CDAC joint director is going to give a webinar about the data science.
That's actually a good initiative, sir. I'm keeping a track of what's happening in this group. I have seen a lot of people, a lot of alumni who is coming forward and they want to share some knowledge.
So you people,
that's actually a good initiative, sir.
You are the good ambassadors of our Department of IT. That's why we are able to do some work with our alumni.
And I'm happy to contribute my knowledge to this session, sir.
And yeah, I think you've given a very wonderful topic titles about how the job roles the students can do after completing of the BTech and how they enter into this domain, and as well as the talk about the some certification also the students, and we'll get, since it's available in the YouTube, and I'll get you some information from you and we'll pass on to the second year and third year students so that they can go for a certification. And I think this is the hottest field now. So
yes, sir,
everybody is on the everybody is on the
so my work is doubled right now. So I'm working a lot because during this COVID situation, there are a lot of things are happening in my field. So we have to be like always, secure the client. So that is my main challenge of this domain right now. So
previously we used to conduct a meeting in person. So now everybody is talking about webinars. So AICTs, they are conducting a lot of webinars, DST, UGC, the NAC, NBA. And regularly we are attending the webinar. And being a faculty members, attending the webinar, and a lot of doing the courses and so on. So thank you. And we initiated from the Department of IT and PSNI College. We are the member in the National Cyber Safety and Security Standard, NCSS. And regularly we used to conduct every semester. We are getting experts from the NCSS, and but especially last semester we conducted for the faculty members, the women, the students.
That's a good initiative, sir.
Yeah, we conducted the session from New Delhi. I think they came from the New Delhi, and they took the entire girls. They given the awareness program how to create and all. I think what you told the same similar kind of the awareness program we started and everything. So thank you very much, and a wonderful session. Thanks to all the coordinators and the students and faculty members joining from other colleges. And thank you very much for everybody. And special thanks to Ashwin.
Thank you, sir. And sir, before wrapping up the session, I just want to quickly, say something to all the faculty members as well. And so I think every information technology course, even in CS also, we don't have an complete knowledge about cybersecurity. We hardly have one cybersecurity paper, which is network security. So I would say we can take an initiative from a department side. So let's say if you're teaching an operating system, let's say we are teaching object-oriented programming or OOPS concept. So we can just add a small portion to it saying how to write a code securely. So let's say we can take one session on security on programming languages, how to write a secure code. So we can just initiate it from the colleges. So that is the best way which we can do it, I can say. So guys, and for all faculty members who's handling some important papers like programming languages, please start including a small I can say a small module called security, how to write a code securely. Because what I found from the project and what I found from my source code reviews also, like people, they just write code without thinking about security. So that can cause a lot of catastrophe. So you can start it from the root. I can say you can start it from the college level. So the faculty member is taking some interesting papers like object-oriented programming, Java, databases. So just add a small module apart from the syllabus and then tell them how to securely write a program. So this is something which I want to convey to this all faculty members in this group and across
Yeah.
the session also, I can say.
Yeah, we'll take care.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll take
Thank
this
you.
note
Thank you
and
very
we'll
much.
take care. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And so you can post a feedback link. I think everybody is asking for it. So
Yeah.
Thank you,
yeah, I think, yeah,
Ashwin.
guys. So contact me on LinkedIn.
Thank you, Ashwin. Thank you. Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
Thank you from my side.
Thank you.